This video was produced by The Top Cut. Be sure to check out thetopcut.net, your home for Pokemon TCG, tournament coverage, professional game analysis, and interviews with the best players in the world. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to Game 2. This is Pram, and Game 1 we had our very own Kyle Pooka Sucevich taking Game 1, and in a pretty quick Mewtwo war. It just went back and forth. Kyle did knock out 3 Mewtwo's, and Yoshi couldn't really pull. He went down to 5 prizes. He took 5 prizes, but he just couldn't get that last one. And he starts. So he gets to go first and starts with a. Both times he started with a kind of bleh starter for him. Last game it was Mewtwo start, and this game it is Terrakion start. While Kyle, he starts with his ideal Thunderous. It's really the best card in the deck versus in this matchup. And yeah, we'll see if it pulls through. It didn't really get to make an appearance last game because Mewtwo just went everywhere. But we'll see, maybe it'll make an appearance this game. We do see a fighting energy on Terrakion, so it's going to be able to pull out some early pressure with Retaliates for 60 on basically anything in Kyle's deck. And that's going to be really scary. His Tynamos are going to be in danger, and Thunderous is going to not have too much of a lifeline. So we do see another Thunderous. Kyle recognizing that that is the best card in this matchup, and using Punt. Let's see. So I will note that Yoshi's deck is featuring Collectors over Dual Ball. I'm not too personally, I'm more of a fan of Dual Ball, but Collector does see its uses. And with Portrait, it can be okay. You know, it's not that bad. It's just a little slow, but much safer. So Kyle just going straight in the charge, and we'll see if he can pull out a normal setup in this game. That Terrakion's going to be very dangerous. So, yep. You know, I hope this doesn't go into that big Mewtwo war like it did last game. That was kind of silly. I mean, Yoshi kind of had to do it because he did start with Mewtwo, but it was at the same time just. It always makes me a little sad when people just put out Mewtwo for no reason. But that wasn't the case last game. It was just like, yeah, I just die a little bit inside sometimes. Okay, so we do see a Tyro coming down and plus power, and yeah, 2 plus powers and a Juniper. So he's going to be able to retaliate for 100. Wow, this is a lot of pressure coming from a Terrakion. Yoshi might be able to run away with this game if he can get 1 more plus power, and then has a fighting next turn. Oh, it's going to be so hard for Kyle to come back from that. And he has the plus power. And let's see what he discards for it. He discards a Tornadus and a Grass, so not too big of a commitment. And just retaliates for 120. How brutal. Wow, both times Yoshi got to go first, and both times he takes the prize turn 2 with triple plus power against a Thunderous. That's pretty uncommon. I'm not going to say that's rare, but it's actually pretty rare. Maybe, yeah, I will say it's rare. But, you know, 2 out of 2 games so far. The force is strong with this one. So he does level ball forward a Dynamo. He really needs to get some Dynamos out. He's probably staring down a Land Crush next turn, which is going to be very brutal. Might want to try and get a Tornadus out and use it as a wall to just buy some time so he can set up. Because if Zekrom Eelektrik can set up, it basically is unbeatable in this matchup. But if it can't, it goes really... It flip-flops a lot if it doesn't. Like last game, you never saw Kyle really get set up, but he ended up pulling it out. So he does have a switch. He might want to use it to switch into Dynamo to give him more options later. Yep, there we go. I don't know what... Okay, so he's attaching DCE to the Zekrom and is just using Juniper. He really needs to get out something that will not get knocked out this turn. That isn't named Mewtwo. Unfortunately, that does not happen. But there is some hope here. He really can't lay down Mewtwo. That is absolutely not an option. I think he's just gonna... He might Junk Arm for Dual Ball and try to get a Tornadus out. Oh, he gets Level Ball. Oh, he might go for Tyrogue. Tyrogue hit coming in would be very strong. Oh, he even gets a Dynamo. Okay. That actually works too. Yeah. I like that. It's going to be able to... He's going to prevent catcher knockouts. Or rather, at least hold it off a little bit, because even if he does catcher one Dynamo, he'll be okay. That is assuming, though, that Yoshi does have a second fighting. I can't imagine him playing too many fighting energies in this deck. Otherwise, that would disrupt Forest Breath. But let's see if he has it. He doesn't have to have catcher, but he really needs that fighting energy. Okay, so he does not have it. So this is really just... The Terrakion's really just there for a Retaliate. And it's just going to be going in for 60. So this is Kyle's real... He has a chance now to come back and do a lot of damage. He's going to throw the Eviolite on Zekrom. Maybe double Dynamotor if he can get... Or he just needs one Dynamotor and one Lightning off this spot. So he needs an Eelektrik or a Junk Arm for Level Ball. And he needs plus power. That Terrakion can't stay on the board too long. It's really dangerous for him. So we do see a Junk Arm, a Level Ball, and yeah, Ponce. I don't know if he played plus power earlier. I don't think he did. So, he didn't get everything, but he got a good amount of stuff. Let's see. What will he do to combat this Terrakion, though? I don't think he can give up one more prize without taking anything. That would be very dangerous. He does Level Ball here. Let's see. Just getting Eelektrik out. He might even double Level Ball for 2 Eelektrik. And just use double Dynamotor. Because he does need to retreat if he has the... He might just say, you know what, you don't have fighting energy. I am just going to wall off with Zekrom and hope you don't beat me in the face. That would be a viable option. Yoshi... He wouldn't... If he had the fighting energy, he would have played it last turn. He didn't play a supporter down. So... His hand is indicating not very strong. However, there is a Smeargle on the bench, so as soon as that Terrakion is able to leave the active spot, he will have another chance to draw out of this situation. And we just see a pass, so he is giving up the Thunderous here, which is fine. He does play N. Oh, that Eviolite. Oh, that Eviolite just kind of crushed Kyle's dreams here. There's really no way for him to do 150. So He's just going to have to Bolt Strike into this, I think. Maybe if he can lose, he might not be. He might be fine with losing the Zekrom if he can catch his opponent off with an N. You know, N at any point in the game after like 3 prizes against CMT is very strong. Okay, so he draws a lot of dual balls, DCE, and catchers. He might be going for Tyrogue here. He gets 2 heads. Not bad. He might be able to go for Tyrogue, knock out Tyrogue, and then try to come up with a plan later. Yeah, so he gets Tyrogue and Tornadus. Try to power up that Tornadus, attack with Tyrogue, and take a prize. Hopefully stay asleep, and you'll be in good shape after that. Oh, actually, no, I didn't notice the DC, so he can just Hurricane this turn. And then Hurricane and then Bolt Strike, which is much better. Okay, so, yep. You know, he might want to consider knocking out Smeargle. Maybe not. I mean, he might. He doesn't have any supporters in his hand, I don't think. Or at least Smeargle probably won't come into play next turn, so he can just knock out Terrakion freely right now. Or not knock it out, but do 60 to it and then Bolt Strike it next turn. That, or he can play plus power and use Hurricane. Bolt Strike's probably the better. What? Terrakion's only doing like 10 damage, so yeah. Let's see if Yoshi drew something to get out of this situation. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Super Scoop Up. Let's see it, and it's heads. I think that's heads. Yeah, heads. Picks up the big bad Terrakion. Definitely not the situation Kyle wanted to see. If Yoshi wants, he will be able to attack with Tornadus, which it looks like he's going to. If he has Catcher to boot, that would be even better. But Kyle is not out of this game yet. He still has a lot of chances. N really makes the format come down to the wire. You can be down like 5 prizes but still win because of N. It just takes one bad N and the game could completely turn around. So we'll see if Kyle can come back from behind. That Terrakion did a lot of damage. Let's see. What do you could Force Press on the Tornadus and then attack. Maybe a Portrait would have been better. Not sure. Or you could just redrop Terrakion down and use Portrait. See what happens. Oh, it drops down Mewtwo. Well, if there was one way Kyle could get back into this game, his name would be Mewtwo. Not really sure why he put down Mewtwo, but you know, he's just gonna maybe go after that Zekrom. He can hit it for 120, 100 damage. Yeah, that's not that great. Does have the Sky Arrow. So Tornadus is going to be able to retreat. And let's see. I wonder if he has the catcher. Yep, there's a Junk Arm. Gets rid of a Mewtwo and a Celebi for Super Scoop Up. Interesting. Let's see if what it looks like. It's a reroll and another heads. So Smeargle should be coming up now. Yep, there it is. And he's just gonna try and Portrait out of this. And it's a Juniper. It's pretty. This turn's been pretty fantastic for Yoshi, considering that he hasn't really drawn much before this. He was, I guess, he was kind of due, so not pretty good. Pretty good. So here comes the big bad Mewtwo coming in, and let's see. He's not going to take a prize this turn. And he's leaving himself for a Mewtwo knockout. Yeah. I mean, he knows Kyle does not have N, but, man, this could get ugly really quickly. Maybe a catcher on Eelektrik? No, he might catcher Dynamo. If he does catcher Dynamo, I would have liked the Tyrogue promotion much better. So let's see what the... Yep, there's Dynamo, and he's just going to X-Ball. I kind of wished he would have attacked with Tyrogue instead of Mewtwo. Putting his Mewtwo out there is just like saying, hey, Kyle, now you won't even have to use catcher to knock out my Mewtwo. I have it right up here for you. If you have the Mewtwo counter, so be it. If not, well, then I'm going to be Ritzy Baller. So, let's see what Kyle draws. He can probably just dual ball a bunch, and then Juniper. Get the Mewtwo out, attack with Mewtwo, and then, yeah, be in good shape. Oh. So he's gonna, instead he's gonna say, I'm not gonna use Mewtwo, I don't need to. Instead, I'm just gonna make it so you can't really attack me. Or you really can't take prizes easily, and I'm just going to attack with Tornadus, catcher up something, and start taking prizes this way. And you know what? I'll take that Mewtwo later. So he's going to really shut down the Portrait engine right now with Tornadus. And he's just going to Hurricane back to the Zekrom. And let's see what Kyle gets all the prizes. Dynamo, not bad. So Kyle, before Yoshi takes 2 more prizes, Kyle really needs to take 3. So if Yoshi goes down to 1 prize, Kyle can be at 2, and then knock out Mewtwo for the last 2 prizes. That would be his probably ideal way to come back in this game. Let's see. So it's really going to be hard to fight back against this setup. He plays an energy retrieval too. Interesting. Yoshi's list is very, very not standard, but it's a much more stable version, I believe, of this deck than most people are used to seeing. So we will see a Force Breath, probably on Terrakion, maybe onto Tornadus. It's going to be very hard for him to take a prize here. You know, he could catch up. Yeah, it's going to go into Terrakion. Probably catcher up the Eelektrik or Zekrom. Both are good targets. Oh, he's going for the Mewtwo hit. So he's really forcing Mewtwo, which is fine because he is up by 2 prizes. He's just saying, hey, I'm going to take a prize here. And then if you don't have Mewtwo to knock out my Mewtwo, I win. And even if you do have Mewtwo, I have Terrakion out. So let's see what... okay, so he will use Pont first. And let's see how this works out. Okay, so there's the retreat, sending up the 4 energy Mewtwo, who's going to swing in for X-Ball for 120. And, Kyle can come back from this. He can lose one more prize. That's fine. So what he can do here is he can take one more prize with Zekrom. One of his Pokemon gets knocked out, and then he can come up with Mewtwo next turn. Or he can use Mewtwo now, and if he has N, then he'll be in great shape. That Mewtwo is very dangerous. It will knock out pretty much anything. And let's just see how this works out. Oh, so he fails the dual ball search. That's interesting. Throws down Dynamo. I would like to see a catcher come out of Kyle's hand. I think he has another one. He may not, though. He's used a couple. Or he's used one already, but he might not have 2. Yeah, there is a catcher. And I know he has a Juniper. He needs to knock out something. Maybe knock out the Smeargle. That would be a good choice. Yeah. So he identifies it. Knocking out Smeargle. He's going to Juniper here. Try and hit N next turn. And then Mewtwo. And try to have Mewtwo go all the way. I do not see any Ns in his hand, though. So that's a little unfortunate for Kyle. But maybe he can pull this out. He does have a Mewtwo, though. So he will have the Mewtwo knockout next turn. And let's probably just going to Bolt Strike here. Yep. So now this is just coming down to, will Yoshi have what he needs to start to just steal this game up? If he can get a Mewtwo down with 3 energy on it this turn, then the game is just over. Yeah, the game is just over with a Mewtwo and 3 energy. Because Yoshi will take a prize, and then Kyle will knock out Mewtwo with Mewtwo, and then you can use your Mewtwo to knock out his last Mewtwo. So he does have a Grass Energy, and the DCE. So yeah, that should be game. I can't really imagine Kyle coming out of this one alive. And he has an N. Kyle just scoops it up. Yeah, he knows there's no way he can win this game. So, Yoshi takes game 2 in a pretty convincing fashion. Kyle really just never got up, and that's really how this matchup works out. So 2 pretty standard games, and we'll be going into game 3.